Hello, my name is Tom Krickenberger. This evening I would like to discuss the importance of being a good listener. Specifically, I'm going to focus on a skill known as active listening and show you some of the techniques involved in that. Active listening is crucial to good communication. Picture the following scene. A young man and a young woman are walking out of a lecture hall laughing and smiling, and here's their conversation. The woman says to the man, "I hope none of this is going to be on the final exam. I have no idea what he was talking about." The young man says, "Well, maybe if you hadn't been texting your friends the whole time, you might have got some of it." She says, "Oh, really? All you were concentrating on was that hussy in the red dress." He says, "Well, at least you didn't see me putting on makeup." And she says, "Yes, and you didn't hear me cracking my knuckles either, you knucklehead." They share a moment of laughter. The young lady says, "Yeah, well, all I know is it better not be on the final exam." The young man says, "Well, maybe somebody took some notes and they'll share them with us." They look at each other dubiously and walk away, their faces showing that they're not very happy about their prospects for that particular class. Does this sound like a conversation that might actually have taken place or that will take place again? Sadly, it is not hard to imagine. And the worst part is that poor listening habits like these are almost always guaranteed to failure, as close examination will make clear. Poor listening skills are a dangerous threat to the communication of ideas. The world is growing ever more complicated every day, and we are all at risk of falling by the wayside if we don't have good communication skills. Communication is like the tango. It takes two to do it properly. One being the sender or the speaker, the second being the receiver or the listener. If you're trying to explain something to me, it might be something very important to me, and if I'm not understanding you, then I'm not getting the benefit of what it is you're trying to tell me. The noted researchers Andrew Wolven and Carolyn Gwynn Coakley, in a study they published in 1997, determined that listening is the medium by which the greatest amount of information takes place, the greatest amount of communication takes place. Granted, the prevalence of the internet since that time has affected the balance, but still, by witness of what we're doing right here, shows that listening is still a great part, if not the greatest. Okay? According to Valerie Washington, the CEO of Think 6 Results, the following results are true. Number one, it is estimated that more than 50% of our time at work is spent listening. Number two, immediately following a 10-minute presentation, the average person retains about half of what they hear, or about only 1/4 of what they hear 48 hours later. Number three, it is estimated that more than 50% of our work time is spent listening. Number four, 60% of all management problems are related to listening. Number five, we interpret, misunderstand, or change, misinterpret, misunderstand, or change 70 to 90% of what we hear. This is undoubtedly a problem. While effective listening involves many skills, let's take a look at perhaps the most important of them, active listening. Practicing active listening will pay huge dividends in your understanding of things. Imagine how much more understanding we'll get if every time someone is telling us something, we practice the following active listening techniques. Number one, focusing all our attention on the speaker and making ourselves ready to listen. Number two, assume there's value in what the speaker is saying. Put aside our cell phones, iPods, MP3s, anything else that might distract us. Number three, take notes if necessary. If you want to be sure you'll be able to refer back later to something, and make sure you had something exactly as the speaker had told you, take notes. Number four, avoid becoming distracted by yourself. What am I missing here? I've only got 4 of them. Tom. Good thing this is a tape. Maybe this last one is the hardest of them all. Avoid becoming distracted by yourself. If we can avoid daydreaming, thinking more about what we're going to do or say afterwards, or anything else that gets in the way of giving our speaker our full attention, we are much more likely to understand what the speaker is trying to tell us. Well, now that we know a little bit more about the subject, let's return back to our hypothetical young couple and imagine how their conversation might be different if they had practiced active listening. Here we are standing outside the same lecture hall, and here comes the same young couple again, laughing and smiling as before, but now here's their conversation. The young woman says, "Wow, that was interesting. I thought it was going to be boring, but I forced myself to pay attention. I'm glad I did." The young man says, "Me too. I just wish that hussy in the red dress had quit trying to distract me. I want to get good grades this semester, and I bet a lot of that is going to be on the final exam." The young lady says, "I hope so. I took loads of notes." The young man says, "Me too, but not so much that they distracted me from what he was saying." The young lady says, "We should go to lectures sometimes, just for fun." The young man says, "Great idea, but let's go to the soda shop first." Okay, maybe this is a little over the top, but I think you catch the drift. By practicing active listening, we can all feel better about our understanding of information we've been presented, and in the college environment, understanding is the name of the game. Active listening is key to good communication. Good communication is essential to understanding. Understanding is central to success. Please join me in taking a personal pledge to make active listening something you practice every day. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and attention. Have a great evening. Thank you very much.